Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's story I may say is stranger than fiction itself. The story took place in Iraq. It's about a young married woman pregnant in her last trimester. This lady, Sarah, lended some money to her cousin, a specific amount of money, like I would say around 400,000 to 1 million Iraqi dinars, which would be equal to almost 670 or somewhere around that. Now, it had been a period of time ever since she had lent the money. She was anxiously waiting for her to return the money, claiming that she needs it for her pregnancy and for her delivery, for after she gives birth, the expenses, I would say. She started calling her on daily basis, asking for what actually was hers. But her cousin, Meha, kept on denying or saying that I don't have the money, I cannot return it now. One day, Meha gave her a call. All of a sudden, she gave her a call and she said, "You know what? I'm bothered and annoyed by how many times you have been calling me and asking me for the money. And so I have decided that now I have the money and I can return you right now." She asked her if she was alone or if someone was with her. Sarah answered that her husband had left for some kind of work or he had a job. The cousin here said, "Well, good, because I have decided to give you the whole thing, the whole amount. And honestly, if you can come and take the money now, it would be better, or I will spend it on somewhere else or somewhere I need to spend, something I need. So you have an hour or so." Sarah asked her cousin to wait. If her husband arrives, it would be easier to get to her house. And she was telling her that she was tired and pregnant, and it was difficult to hold on to a transport at that time. But because she was desperate and was in need of money and couldn't believe after several calls and requests, Meha decided to return the money, hoping to get rid of her annoying story. She gave her husband a call and asked him about his whereabouts. He said he was far, and that far that he couldn't reach on time or couldn't pick her. She said, "I would take a taxi." But he was totally against this idea too. He knew that his wife was tired. So she also explained that if she's unable to collect the money now, she will disapprove and spend the money on unnecessary stuff. Means Meha will actually spend the money somewhere else. When she explained this, he said, "Okay, fine." He agreed to this, but he said that I will give a call to one of my family members so that he can pick and drop you as close as possible. So he did give call to one of his family members, and luckily this person was available at that moment, at that time. Now, he came by, he drove her to Meha's house and parked close enough so that he could drop her near the house, close enough to the house. And she said, "I'll be back in just 5 minutes. I'll just get the money and come back." She entered the house. Now he was waiting. He was waiting for 10, 15, almost half an hour passed by, and he was a bit embarrassed to go there and knock at the door, as believing that the ladies would have gotten to a conversation and forgotten about the time itself. And it does happen. But after 1.5 or 2 hours, he gave up and called his cousin, saying that I did a favor for 5 minutes. It turned out to be 2 hours since he was outside waiting in the car. That could have been just like, you could have told me that it will take that much of a time and I could understand. Here actually the husband got quite worried because there is a difference of 5 minutes to 2 hours. He was worried enough that he just said, "Get down and knock at the door," since she's not answering the phone calls or her device was out of service or something. He went right away and knocked at the door. The woman here opened the door. He asked where Sarah was, and he was just waiting for her to make sure that she was all right. She replied, "Sarah, actually, she took the money and left almost 2 hours ago. He was surprised. How could she walk away when I have parked the car beside the house waiting for her, he said. Well, Mahaz said that, okay, it's okay. Maybe she took the money and she went out and she left you outside. I mean, as if she had nothing to do. But she said, I'm sure that she took the money and she left. And then he said again that her condition, she was not in the condition to just take the money, leave alone, as she was sick and pregnant. She asked him to make sure that he didn't see her, and maybe he was busy in something else. She closed the door on him anyways. He immediately gave a call to Sarah's husband and said, instead of appreciating me waiting outside, your wife just left. Maybe I was busy in something and she left. But he said it's impossible. Her device was closed. She was not answering. He actually immediately rushed to his house, petrified, and didn't find his wife. So he straight away went to Mahaz's house, and she repeated the same story, that your wife took the money and left. That was strange. She was now carrying a baby and money. She could be in danger, and at the same time, she's not to be found anywhere. Of course, after that, they decided to go to the police straight away, and the police started questioning them. Where did you see her the last time? Where was she seen the last time? And they reached the cousin's house. Before knocking or entering the house, they noticed the smoke on top of the house, that is on the roof, as if someone was barbecuing or cooking something or grilling. Well, they knocked the door and wanted to enter. She said, you cannot enter, as I'm a woman, I'm all alone, and you have no right to enter or raid the house. But she also started literally screaming as they tried to push her and enter. And here, she was not the only one in the house. She was not alone. They found her husband. But still, she started screaming so that they wouldn't move. But of course, they moved her and started searching. They started searching room by room. And after searching cabinets and closets, one after the other, they opened this closet where they found bags, plastic bags. And they did found the poor pregnant women. But Sarah here was cut into pieces and packed them. And they packed them into bags and kept them in the closet. As they continued their search, they also decided to go to the terrace and see the reason of the smoke coming out of it. And here it couldn't get worse. They found body parts and organs on the grill, burning. That was of the poor Sarah. They collected all parts and organs and sent them for forensic department. They took Maha and her husband for further investigation, but it was clear that they were the murderers. They interrogated why did she kill Sarah. They wanted to know, of course, the reason. She told investigators that Sarah lended money to her and she couldn't return the money. So she thought it was the right opportunity or the right time. As she was all alone, she knew that Sarah was alone. So her husband here participated in this heinous crime and they confessed to all the crimes here. Maha's husband was a close family member to both. Now, what was Sarah's mistake? What was her mistake? She was carrying a baby in her last trimester, close to delivery. And what shall we say? What should we say is, may God bless her soul. I would like to end this story with a quote by Frank Sonnenberg. Trust is like blood pressure. It's silent, vital to get help. And if abused, it can be deadly. Thank you for listening, and please do not forget to subscribe and like.